Anytime you start working in an environment, especially in Workstation with multiple virtual machines running, keyboard shortcuts can be a really neat way to move around and make your actions very efficient. You don't have to reach over there and grab that mouse and do things. Well, let's talk about some of the keyboard shortcuts you have available to you working in VMware Workstation. First of all, Control-G will take you from anywhere you are in the host and put the keyboard and the mouse input into the highlighted virtual machine. That's a neat one. Control-Alt does just the opposite. It tells Workstation to release the keyboard and mouse input and give it back to the host system. You can use Control-Alt plus Spacebar if you need to send the Control-Alt combination to the guest OS, and so that's a workaround for that. And so Control-Alt Spacebar will send a command into the VM and it'll bypass Workstation, so it'll just kind of flip it. And to use it, you're going to hit Control-Alt Spacebar, let up on the spacebar, hold down the Control-Alt, don't let up on it, and then continue entering commands, and they will go straight into the virtual machine. Now, Control-Alt Delete, this is the standard out there. It will cause a shutdown or give you the opportunity or give you a menu to shut down or log out of the guest OS. It depends on that guest OS or the guest operating system is what I'm talking about here. Based on the operating system, it'll either give you a choice to shut it down or log it out, or it might do it automatically. But both the guest OS and the host will receive this command unless you've done the enhanced virtual keyboard thing that I talked about in a separate video. Now, Control plus Alt plus Enter enters full screen mode. It will also bring you back out of full screen mode. Control-Alt Insert will shut down or log out of just the guest OS, and this Control-Alt Insert is the guest OS version of Control-Alt Delete. Okay, so that's the shortcut for that, and again, that's going to depend on the guest OS to see how it reacts to that, whether it just goes straight into shutdown or it goes straight into a logout or it gives you a menu. Now, Control-Tab or Control-Shift-Tab will switch among the tabs when you're working with Workstation and Windows Host, and by tabs I mean the tabs of the virtual machines across the interface. I'll show you that one in a second. Control-Alt right arrow is probably one of the ones that once you get addicted to this one, you will love it, and in the full screen mode you can switch to the next powered on virtual machine. I'll show you that one in just a second. Control-Alt left will take you to the previously or the previous powered on virtual machine. And then Control-Shift-U when you're in Unity mode will display that start application menu that will disappear on you, and sometimes it's just frustrating that you can't get the thing back. So let me jump out into Workstation and show you a couple of these. So here we are in Workstation, and notice now I have Vista powered up and I have Professional powered up. Okay, XP Professional. Now let's say in Vista I've been out working around. I've got Vista open here, it's what I'm highlighted on, but I got out into another part of the operating system on the host side, and if I just hit Control-G, you will notice if I get in here and I hit Control-G, it will jump me in to this particular environment. So Control-G will get me back in there. Now what I want to do is I am going to go full screen on Vista, all right, and notice that if I hit Control-Alt and the right arrow key, it'll take me out to XP Professional, and I'll make that full screen. And so now I can very quickly switch between Vista and XP. Now I'm holding down the Control-Alt key and just arrowing left, arrowing right. Notice how quick and cool I can jump between virtual machines. Now you can do some neat stuff very quickly amongst totally separate computers. Now there's something else I can do here, and I will jump back to my XP machine, and I'm going to leave full screen just for a minute, and I'm going to go into Unity mode here. And in Unity mode, notice I've jumped back out to my host, but this little menu will go away. Well, sometimes you can mouse down, it'll come back, or I can just stay up here and Control-Shift-U, and this thing will always pop up down there. Okay, so I can always get back to where I need to, Control-Shift-U, and you see it pop back up because I'm in Unity mode. So that's your basic Workstation keyboard shortcuts. Play with these, get used to especially the ones you like the most, and these can really save you some time and make you dangerously fast when you're working in the VMware virtual machine environment.